All right, I think we got it
I,
sorted out.
I did register I had to register a second time to get the link again for today.
Okay, well, hopefully
But
that works.
if I know that I can just put it in my calendar what the ID number is and whatnot. If
You
it's the
shouldn't even
same.
have to do that. You should be able to go directly from that link button. So why
Okay.
don't we'll definitely send you that link. We'll put it in the chat even, maybe. And we'll make sure that you've got that so it's easy for you to get in here.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Hello, everybody. I think Barry's going to just introduce. We're going to do a little introduction nowadays, and that's partly because we're hoping to make sure we have these all categorized on the YouTube channel for you. So without further ado, Barry will do a countdown, and I think Barry might have already done that. Maybe have you, Barry?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's
Okay.
automatic this time. I think for the next one,
Okay.
we'll do that.
Okay,
But,
perfect.
I'll
All right.
let,
Well, we're live. So hello, everybody, and welcome to Mindfulness on Wednesdays. And really, really great to see you. I'm feeling like we're in this really beautiful place where we're getting a lot of cohesiveness as a group, and many of you have been kind of dipping in and out of mindfulness on a regular basis, which is really wonderful. And I could be wrong in assuming this, but I'm always really, obviously welcoming new people to come in every time, and it's really an easy place for people to start from scratch, or it's a great place for you if you've been practicing for a while. So those of us that might want to today focus a little bit more on your breathing pattern, we're going to add that in toward the end of the practice, just so that you know. And the reason why we do that is, in mindfulness, the most important thing is to be present, of course, and to not feel like you're getting something wrong by doing just presence, because there's nothing, you can do nothing wrong by being present. Now, of course, we all know that the difficulty in being present is the mind kind of chirps in and goes, oh, shouldn't I have done this? Or, oh, I've got to get that. Or, oh, I should do this, or blah, 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 blah. It's very hard for our mind to be still. And that's just the nature of the mind. Well, that's something that we just accept, just like the nature of the heart is to pump and to be, this consistently moving organ as well. And without it consistently moving, we would die. And without the brain consistently moving, we would also die, because that constant movement is actually how we figure out what we need. And that happens, 24 hours a day. Now, when we're in sleep, the beautiful thing is that we have two different systems that operate in our bodies, sympathetic and parasympathetic. And when we sleep, we shift over to that system. And when we do things like mindfulness, we also can shift into that parasympathetic system. This is really good for our bodies, because we do not heal, we do not relax, we do not really enter into that beautiful kind of place of very higher thinking order, unless we can tap into that place. When we're in sympathetic, we're often in fight or flight. So we're often trying to figure out how we can navigate the world. And that's, for those of us with disabilities, that becomes even more challenging, because our nervous system is constantly running that, oh my God, am I safe? Am I safe? Am I okay? And that is just a given with disability. We cannot, we cannot turn that off, because actually it's important. Autonomic dysreflexia is my best warning system. Things like this, are our sensory body speaking to us. And so, although it's important, it's also important to learn how to manage that. And that is really the key thing that we're doing in mindfulness, is learning how to manage the nervous system. So we do address what the nervous system is saying when it says, I'm not safe. And we go, oh, is this real? Is it a tiger? Is this is this an old response to something that, isn't real right now? Or is this factual? And if it's factual, then yeah, you've got to shift and get your, yourself off your butt and make it so you don't get a pressure sore. But if it's not factual, then we need to go, okay, I need to ameliorate here. I need to tell my nervous system that it's actually, it's not correct. It's reacting to something that isn't real. And so that's why breathing and why mindfulness are so important, because those of us that do have disabilities need it even more because we have that interference running 24/7, guys. And our, I think one of our biggest, tools of not only hopefully self-compassion, but also choice and empowerment is to be able to look at those, look at that information and make a conscious decision about what it is and what I need to do, rather than being in fight or flight and reaction. So that's our job here. That's what we do in mindfulness. And actually, it's not a job. That's our intention. And we hold this collective intention together as we sit. So we gather everybody together in this room, and by some beautiful way of our energy bodies merging and collectively practicing mindfulness, we're actually gaining by doing it alone to a certain degree. Obviously, it's good to do it alone too. So I'm not going to speak anymore. I'm going to leave you with a quote. And this is about self-kindness, because I really think that we need to remember when we're practicing to be kind to ourselves. This is by Julia Cameron. Although we seldom recognize it, different responsibilities are often cruel to our energetic body. Things like having to go, be out in the world can often play on our sensory body. As we work to achieve a place of solvency, not only within our own being, but in our outside world, we bring within our means the experience of choice, the experience of self-love. We hold ourselves in a compassionate place for all that is. Okay. So with that sense of compassion and just this capacity that we can do this, that there's nothing to get, it's not, ever going to be right or wrong as we practice together. So let's just join together in our breath and take a couple really big, full diaphragmatic breaths, inhaling big and exhaling. Just keep your eyes open for a minute and really consciously, if it's tough for you to do a conscious breath and get it kind of big in the diaphragm, consider making the exhale vocal. So inhaling and and one more. Bring the shoulders back and down. Exhale. And then as you allow yourself to come into a beautiful still state, bring your chin down towards your chest. Just shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Bow your head. Press the upper arm bones back. And then relax the shoulders. Let them drape down the back of your body. And we'll try that one more time. Just roll them up. Press the upper arm bones back, no matter if you're sitting in your chair on a bed, and relax the whole upper arm down as the shoulder blades just release down the back body. Coordinate your breath to movement now. Inhale, up, exhale, pressing back and releasing down. All right, and then allow yourself to come into your present state, wherever you are right now in this moment. Closing your eyes, if that's comfortable for you. And just allowing yourself to take, the biggest stock of what is. So making sure all your awareness is internal right now. So bring it all inside. And just notice what the difference is, if you can, in this moment of your eyes being closed to having them open. And next, I'm going to invite you to consider that we are going to relax and pause right now. So the whole idea of relaxing any of the doing. So allow yourself to come into the most still, effortless place possible, where you're not fidgeting, you're not fussing, you're still. You're just still with what is right now. And what do you notice? In the stillness, there's usually lots of activity, and it's not hopefully in the body anymore, but the breathing is still moving. But there's still a lot of activity, isn't there? There's the mind that notices all the different things, but also there's the mind that keeps on, analyzing, judging, and doing what the mind does. And that's okay, as long as you observe it and don't become a part of that movement. So you're the witness now, and you're like that beautiful eagle sitting way up on the pole or on the tree, the tall tree, and you're just watching the breath, watching the thoughts, just like ripples on the ocean down below, moving across the surface of the water, changing, flitting about. Those are thoughts. You're watching how you feel. The eagle's like, I'm just going to wait for that nice big fat fish. Anticipating, perhaps. Whatever you might be feeling, just noticing with no judgment, just that beautiful, compassionate eye of awareness. Noticing whatever emotions might come up. Maybe that eagle is, thinking about, oh, I didn't get the big fish yesterday. I hope I get it today. So he attaches a story to that image. Bless you. We attach stories to our sensory body feelings as well. Just notice those with the same compassionate, non-judgmental eye of awareness. When there's this urge to move or to think or to change or to find some way out, just give yourself a noticing of that. And just tell that busy brain, it's okay, just be still. We can pause here. And often it's good to give the mind a job to do. So in this moment, as we allow the stillness to be our state, our prevailing state, we can also bring our awareness to notice the breath. So without changing your pattern of breathing, just noticing the pattern. I can notice mine is a bit shallow. It's a bit stiller than when we started. Whatever you notice the pattern. Next, I'd like you to notice the sensation. So do you feel a sensation with your breath? Could be the sensation of heat or cold. Could be the sensation of expansion or contraction. If you're a person that uses a vent or anything in terms of an auxiliary piece, you would notice that. Maybe notice how you feel about what you feel and notice in your breath. Is there a story? And just notice, like that big eagle, not moving, not budging, unfettered, just noticing, kindly identifying, but not identifying with the story, the pattern, the thought. You're doing wonderful as you notice. And just allow yourself to keep noticing, coming back to the breath if you need that anchor. Allowing the noticing to move now to a different sense. And we'll bring our awareness to the sounds, which is a different anchor in the breath. And giving your mind a job to do by noticing sounds, really focusing in on one of your senses, your auditory sense. And let everything flood in for a minute or two. And really developing a neuroplasticity in your muscle of awareness by now. See if you can bring your awareness outside of the room, farther away. So there may be sounds that you hear that are immediate, and see if you can really stretch your aperture of awareness way out to perhaps the cars or the birds or something external to where you are. Maybe a siren. And play around with that for a moment or two. See if you can move from sounds close to you to sounds farther away. And as you Bring your awareness back toward you, toward your inner body, toward your inner landscape. Listening perhaps to just the sound of your breath now. And as you relax your face, you can bring your attention now to the taste inside your mouth. And really palpate into that without really having to change anything or to do anything, just the noticing. Relax the inside muscles of your cheeks, softening the facial muscles, all of the identifications that we have. Allowing the tongue to float up to the roof of the mouth and feeling that, relaxing the tongue in the back of the throat. And then feeling that gentle relaxation offer the slightest little grin to the outer corners of your mouth. And feeling that even up into the corners of your eyes. Relaxing the forehead all the way back toward the brow. And then letting the brain release away from the skull. And as I begin to bring awareness now into your whole sensory body, feeling that smile, if you will, throughout your whole being. You can start just in your face. But see if you can notice the feeling of a smile in every cell of your being. And it doesn't mean that you're happy. It doesn't mean that you need to change anything, but just allowing that peacefulness of that gentle grin, that place of, in this moment, all is well, contentment, to register in your cellular being. Because in this moment, if I'm not mistaken, I think all is well. And the big eagle sitting up on the big tall tree. So still that not a feather is ruffled. And then as we gather our individual and our collective intention to be conscious, to be aware with loving kindness. To honor ourselves in the most beautiful way. By developing the tools and the agency for personal empowerment. We gather our collective intention through our breath. So let's just do 3 just conscious breaths. See if you can make them a little bit fuller, but not by straining or creating any effort. Just by simply bringing more awareness, more control. And on that 3rd mindful breath, relaxing everything, really using that exhale to let go a little bit more, perhaps, in the muscular body. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Relaxing them down the back body. Perhaps even slouching a bit. Letting your body release completely. Feeling that relaxed shoulder, feeling all the way down your arms, into the palms of your hands. And then bringing the hands up to your eye beds and just rubbing them before you do, together with a bit of a vigorous rub. And then placing them on your eye beds, if that's there for you. If not, just revisiting the depth of the visual behind your closed eyes. Remembering where you are before coming back into the room. So that's a good amount of time for all of us to practice together. Yeah. Any comments or questions are always welcome and always appreciated too. So if you have anything to say, then we'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, we'll see you in 2 weeks, of course.
Thank you, Mary-Jo.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thanks,
disability.
Linda. Thanks, Jacqueline. Thanks, Kim. Thanks, Maureen. Terry, nice to see all of you.
Thank
Patty,
you. Bye.
you're very welcome.
Bye-bye.
You guys all have a good week. Take good care, okay?
Undo.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Barry, would you be able to resend that to the SCI people, do you think? Like, is it easy to figure out where they're coming, like if we need to do something that way at all? Or